Namaste, and welcome to our continuing series on Savitri with our beloved Ranga. We are still in Canto 3, Book 1, The Yoga of the Soul's Release, page 41, beginning with the line, "The Inspiring Goddess." The inspiring goddess entered a mortal breast, made there her study of divining thought, and sanctuary of prophetic speech, and sat upon the tripod seat of mind. All was made wide above, all lit below. In darkness core she dug out wells of light. On the undiscovered depths imposed a form, lent a vibrant cry to the unuttered vasts, and through great shoreless, voiceless, starless breadths bore earthward fragments of revealing thought, hewn from the silence of the ineffable.
As we have seen, this canto is the description of Ashwapati's yoga. He has made his mind silent and he has gone to the spiritual planes of consciousness, and all his experiences are being given here. And now what we are going to read today, he has gone even beyond the spiritual planes of consciousness and he has started digging into the inconscient. And he is trying to find out the secret of the inconscient. Because he encountered in his yoga, he encountered one difficulty. He saw that if you go upwards, you can get into a level of consciousness which is very pure, very bright, full of knowledge. But the moment you come down into your body-mind life, your consciousness descends. You are back to square one. All your old habits and everything remain. So, what has to be done? You have to go higher up to bring the light into the lower. Then he found that the subconscient itself has to be cleared, because the subconscient is a repository of all your past lives and all the errors that you have made. So it is a hardcore storehouse of all the errors that you have made in the past. Lakhs of lives. So it is something very not easy to change. Okay?
You say lakhs, plural?
Yes, lakhs of lives.
Oh.
In fact, the tantrics say that you have had 100,000 lives before you reach the human level. Before that, you have had animal lives and even lower down. It takes a long time. Evolution is very slow. And Srimati explains that. He says if it was fast, the problem set by the divine for himself, the adventure, he doesn't want to be finished quickly. He wants to give the maximum difficulty and solve the problem with the maximum difficulty, not an easy problem. So that's why it takes long time to... and when he plays the game, he is not doing it, like with a handicap. He really puts the problems to himself and descends into it, forgets his divinity, and then he's climbing up. And he's doing that through every individual. So it takes a long journey, and he's repeating the journey in every individual. So that's why it takes time. So this passage we are going to read today is that. So he found that he has to go on clearing the inconscient. So God's labor, the poem God's Labor describes that. He's digging deep and long, and in one letter to Nirudbaran, he says, I have found my formula for the mystery of matter. I don't remember the exact words. I didn't have time to find the reference, but this is what he says. So, and then he finds that what the others are saying, that the inconscient and the superconscient are opposites and have nothing in common, that is light and this is darkness, is not true. They are connected very much. Spirit and matter are connected, and we have to find the mystery of both. God can be light, but he can also be darkness. And there are some beautiful passages on light and night. So we'll have a look at that also. Night can be beautiful. So, the inspiring goddess entered a mortal's breast. So, this is what he is experiencing. Made there her study of divining thought. Now, made there her study, her office, settling in the heart, and from there working onwards. Okay, so
And the word divining?
divining is nothing to do with divinizing.
No, nothing at all.
Divining is from the French word deviner. Deviner means to guess, to have a rough idea,
To find out.
but not very clearly.
Yes.
That's what it means. Divining thought and sanctuary of prophetic speech. So you can also see the future and prophesy the future. So that prophetic speech. So and that it's an office and it's also a sanctuary. Okay, so that's what he's saying. And sat upon the tripod seat of mind. Someone just the other day asked me, what is this tripod seat of mind? I looked up my old notes, and it is Tridivi mentioned in the Veda, the Tridivi. And then Srimata has also commented on the secret of the Veda. It is nothing but the physical mind, the emotional mind, and the pure mind. That's the tripod seat of mind. And he is above that. The inspiring goddess has gone and sitting in the heart above that. So in the spiritual planes of consciousness, that's a tripod seat of mind. All was made wide above, all lit below. So why is he saying lit below? Because it's dark, the darkness, and so he is putting light into it. And look at the next line. In darkness's core, she dug out wells of light. What an image. So, in darkness's core, she dug out wells of light. In fact, in God's labor, he says that, I have been digging deep and long.
Mid a horror of filth and mire.
That's right.
A bed for the golden river song. A home for the sacred fire. Something like that.
You remember a lot, I don't remember so much. I remember only the subject.
I think darkness, when there's an apostrophe, we don't pronounce the plural.
Yes, it means it's a genitive case.
Yes, genitive. So
Yeah.
it's darkness.
That's
core.
right. So it means in darkness core, because you can't say darkness's core.
No.
So when you put an apostrophe, it means of the darkness.
Yes.
Or in the darkness or whatever. In darkness's core, she dug out wells of light. Who is a she? Inspiring goddess. On the undiscovered depths, imposed a form. Okay, lent a vibrant cry to the unuttered vasts. Now, this is you can see on the undiscovered depths, nobody has gone into the inconscient. Okay, but he imposed a form. The inconscient is formless, just like the superconscient is formless. The inconscient also is formless, but he is beginning to see a design and a purpose and form even there. What is the purpose of the inconscient? He is seeing. So that's why he's saying form. Okay, made the inconscient known. If you have to know something, you have to see it, and you have to see it. There's a form, some sort of form. It may be subtle form, but it is form. Okay.
But she imposed a
Yes,
form.
that's right. There, on the undiscovered depths, imposed a form, lent a vibrant cry to the unuttered vasts. Now, this is a vibrant cry to the unuttered vasts, and through the great, shoreless, voiceless, starless depths. Okay, this is a question of poetry. There are two anapist lines there. And through great shore, less voice, less star, less breadths. So he is along, and the shoreless.
I have it as iambic.
But the first one is iambic.
Yes.
And through great shore,
and through great shoreless, voiceless, starless breaths.
less voice,
I'm iambic pentameter.
and through great shore, less voice, yes, all are iambic.
Yes.
There's another line where it is changing. Okay, so
Well, there are many anapaests in
Yeah.
Savitri.
okay, so and through great shoreless, voiceless, starless breadths bore earthwards, fragments of revealing thought. So he's gathering knowledge from all over and trying to understand the inconscient. Okay, bore earthward. Bore earthward means coming down towards the inconscient. Okay, bore earthward. What is bringing? Fragments of revealing thought. So his knowledge which he is gathering everywhere, he is applying it to understand what is the inconscient. Okay, and bore fragments. And these fragments, from where is he getting? Hewn from the silence of the ineffable. The image is fantastic. So,
Cut out.
yeah. So the ineffable is one solid, if you think of it as one piece. So he is getting parts of knowledge. He is breaking it up and hewing and getting knowledge.
Yes.
Pieces of knowledge.
Yes.
That's the image he is using. Hewn. Okay. And also remember the dug. Dug and hewn. It's a labor. God's labor.
Yes. A voice in the heart uttered the unspoken name. A dream of seeking thought, wandering through space, entered the invisible and forbidden house. The treasure was found of a supernal day. In the deep subconscient glowed her jewel lamp. Lifted, it showed the riches of the cave, where, by the miser traffickers of sense, unused, guarded beneath night's dragon paws, in folds of velvet darkness draped, they sleep, whose priceless value could have saved the world.
Beautiful. So, very interesting what he's saying. We'll have a look at what he's saying. So, a voice in the heart uttered the unspoken name. So, a voice in the heart. You can hear the voice, actually. That's what he's saying. Okay. And this is very interesting what he's saying, because there is in Savitri, later on, there is a place where he says that mantra, the mantra, if you go on repeating, it becomes automatic. You don't need to repeat it anymore. It starts running in the breath. Okay. So this, and it's a mantra, you are hearing it. So here is a voice in the heart, uttered the unspoken name. So you can actually hear the mantra being repeated. So unspoken name, because it is not, it is silently spoken. It is not spoken in voice.
And maybe it was not spoken in that way before.
Yeah.
It was unspoken.
Yes. That also you can say that. Many of these lines in Savitri you can interpret in several ways.
Many ways.
And now entered the invisible and forbidden house. What is entering the forbidden house? And what is the forbidden house? The forbidden house is matter. Light is not allowed to come in there. It's strong, it is resisting. And in the human being, it's the body. The forbidden house. Okay. The mind will allow a little bit of light to come in. The vital will allow a little less light to come in. The body will not allow light to come in easily. Okay. So that's a forbidden house. And the forbidden house is inconscient and subconscient to a certain extent. So a dream of seeking thought wandered through space, entered the invisible and forbidden house. It may be forbidden, but it is entering. Okay, so he is getting the secret of the inconscient. Now, this is very interesting. The treasure was found of a supernal day. Supernal day, superconscient. Very clear. Okay, superconscient, or even you can say supermind. And what is the treasure which was found and where? In the deep subconscient glowed her jewel lamp. So he is finding the connection between the highest and the lowest. So, and jewel lamp, okay. Discovering treasure even here in the inconscient. And he says it is so rich and so inherently full of the divine element, but sleeping, that it has the power to change even entire world. He says in another place. I think it's here only. We'll see. Okay? Then, in the deep subconscious glowed her jewel lamp. It reminds you of Mother's experience with the inconscient. She says that...
Yes, at the very bottom of the inconscient.
That's right. Say what it is.
Oh boy.
I hit upon, most narrow and dense and something. Stifling. She uses these words.
I chanced upon an almighty spring.
That cast me forthwith
into something luminous, vast, vibrating with the seeds of a new world.
That's right. So the connection from this inconscient.
Yes.
She is being thrown up direct. In other words, it's not like this. There's a connection between the two, like a circumference. It's all connected. So if you go down, if you go on a circle, you're not going away, you're coming back to your starting point. So there's a connection. Even in space they say that. Space is curved, they say. So if you start, you'll slowly come back to the starting point. So this is what he's saying, that inconscient has treasure in it. Okay? So, and where the mind now lifted, it showed the riches of the cave. The cave is the inconscient.
And the lamp is showing it.
Yes. The jewel lamp. Okay?
The jewel lamp,
yeah.
Yes.
Glowed her jewel lamp in the jewel lamp on the supernal day, where by the miser traffickers of sense, unused, guarded beneath the night's dragon paws, in folds of velvet darkness, draped they sleep, whose priceless value could have saved the world. So the treasures that are there, everything, can save the world. The divine is up there, but here also is the divine, and it can, if it is uncovered, it can save the world.
The cave is the inconscient?
The cave is the inconscient, yes. So, and look at the words used. Now, what are these miser traffickers? A trafficker is one who is a petty dealer in goods which have to be taken into another country illegally.
Right.
And they deal in very small, petty things, small items and things.
Therefore, a miser.
Yeah. So, who are the miser traffickers? Your senses. In other words, the senses are giving you very little knowledge of what is there. That's why miser senses.
Yes.
Senses are giving you extremely small things. Just like a trafficker, a smuggler who is bringing very small goods.
Yeah.
But he is not like an armaments dealer. An armaments dealer is huge, he goes on a vast scale. Okay? But this miser trafficker is finding ways to smuggle goods into a country where it is forbidden. Very small things. So this is what your senses are.
And night's dragon paws.
Yeah, that's again the inconscient, very clearly. Okay? So unused. These riches, they lie unused, guarded beneath the night's dragon paws. In folds of velvet darkness, draped they sleep. Now look at the image of velvet darkness. Night can be as beautiful as anything. Okay? Many poets have sung of the beauty of night. Okay? So here is a poem from Lord Byron. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes, thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies. So night can be beautiful, and here he is saying that it's full of riches. It may be nice. I have not read the whole poem. It's not a very beautiful poem, but that's what he. So Srimdev is saying it in a very guarded way. Velvet night. The texture of night is velvet. So, whose priceless value could have saved the world. Okay? So,
I'll continue.
proceed further.
A darkness carrying morning in its breast looked for the eternal wide returning gleam, waiting the advent of a larger ray and rescue of the lost herds of the sun. In a splendid extravagance of the waste of God, dropped carelessly in creation's spendthrift work, left in the chantier of the bottomless world, and stolen by the robbers of the deep, the golden shekels of the eternal lie, hoarded from touch and view and thought's desire, locked in blind antres of the ignorant flood, lest men should find them and be even as gods. Lot to go through here.
Fantastic. All images are there and we have to see what he's saying. So remember, he's in the inconscient, he's finding the connection between the higher and the lower. This is something that in our India at least, they feel that there is a difference. That is, all over the world it's there. The gods and the devils, there is a difference. Light and darkness are different. They have nothing to do with each other. Sridhar is finding the connection. Okay, so a darkness carrying morning in its breast. Beautiful image saying, this is darkness, but the possibility of light is there in it through evolution. So it's all inherent and involved. Okay, so a darkness carrying morning in its breast looked for this eternal wide returning gleam, the light that comes back, returning gleam. Okay, so waiting the advent of a larger ray. So this is he is speaking of larger ray, means he is saying it is waiting. The darkness is waiting for the larger ray, means he is talking of the supermind. The coming of the supermind and the supermental race. The large waiting, it is waiting for the larger ray. And rescue the lost herds of the sun. The lost herds of the sun are Vedic images where the word used is the go. Go means cows, okay? And also means light in Sanskrit. So the Vedic seers have played upon that word, go. So they represent as cows, but they mean light. Just like a horse, symbol of power. So just the cows are symbols of light, knowledge. Okay? So, and they have been taken and the robbers have stolen the light and kept it hidden in this inconscient. That's the image. And these herds have to be rescued. And rescued how? Only when the supermind comes, it will be rescued. The light that is there, the next generation, the supermental race will evolve. And evolving from bottom, from the inconscient is coming up. So that's what he's saying. So this is a Vedic image, okay? And rescue the lost herds of the sun. I think it's clear, huh? So, in a splendid extravagance of the waste of God, dropped carelessly in creation's spendthrift work, left in the chantier, this word has to be pronounced in the French way, you are right, chantier, of the bottomless world, and stolen by the robbers of the deep. The robbers of the deep are these Vritras and there are all sorts of beings which steal the light and hide it in the inconscient, in the caves of the inconscient, and they have to be rescued. So, the golden shekels of the eternal lie. The shekel is a word in Jewish which means a golden coin. So, he has told you, jewel lamps and the riches and priceless value and the golden shekels, they are all hiding in the inconscient. Okay, that's what he's saying. Hoarded from touch and view and thought's desire. They are hoarded from touch. You cannot touch it. It's deep down. It is hidden. It has to be uncovered. Okay, so locked in blind, herded from touch and view and thought's desire, locked in blind antres of the ignorant flood. The antres are the cave where some wild animals also stay. Okay, so
Or sometimes the wise men, too, had to hide in caves.
yeah. So, but usually the word antre is used in the sense of for animals.
Yeah.
Caves where animals are there. Of the ignorant flood. Lest men should find them and be as gods. So they are hidden. The game is being played in earnest. It is not. So, if you want to find the light, find it with difficulty, but it is there. You can't find it very easily. Lest men should find them and be even as gods. So,
A vision lightened on the viewless heights, a wisdom illumined from the voiceless depths, a deeper interpretation, greatened truth, a grand reversal of the night and day. All the world's values changed, heightening life's aim. A wiser word, a larger thought came in than what the slow labor of human mind can bring. A secret sense awoke that could perceive a presence and a greatness everywhere. The universe was not now this senseless whirl, borne round inert on an immense machine. It cast away its grandiose, lifeless front, a mechanism no more or work of chance, but a living movement of the body of God.
so now he is seeing that the inconscient is something not at all dark. It is something totally different. And all the values which he had earlier are being changed. So we start from a vision lightened on the viewless heights. Okay, he could viewless heights in the superconscient. Okay, a vision lightened. Lightened means became light. He could view it. He could see it. A vision lightened on the viewless heights. So again, there is a contrast here. On the viewless heights, a vision is coming. So Srimad is so fond of these oxymorons. That which was not seen before, now he is seeing. But he's putting it in this oxymoronic way. Okay, so a vision lightened on the viewless heights, a wisdom illumined from the voiceless depths. So, a wisdom illumined. There is a connection between voiceless depths is below, and the viewless heights are above. So, there seems to be a connection. Okay, a deeper interpretation, greatened truth. The truth that he knew earlier, now he is seeing it in an even greater manner. That's what he's saying. The inconscient is not what he thought it to be earlier. It is full of riches and full of possibilities. Okay, so a grand reversal of the night and day. This is what he's saying. Even the darkness is now reversed, and he's seeing the full possibility of day even there. Okay, so all the world's values changed, heightening life's aim. Now, this is very interesting because all the suffering and the pain and the undivine element that you're seeing here, cruelty, now he is seeing totally something different. The aim of life is to conquer these difficulties. They are not something permanent. That's what he's saying. His whole view of things has changed. All the world's values changed, heightening life's aim. Now earlier the aim of life was to escape from here and go there. But now that aim is being heightened. It is becoming even something even more great. You have not to escape, but you have to conquer these. That's why it is much greater, heightening. Okay, it's heightening life's aim. A wiser word, a larger truth came in, a larger thought came in than what the slow labor of human mind can bring. The anapists are here in this one. Okay. A secret than what the slow labor of human mind can bring. There are two anapasts there. So, to show the slow labor, okay, than what the slow labor of human mind can bring. So, slow labor of human mind is now not applicable anymore. He sees life's aim is heightened. He is seeing much more. A wiser word and larger thought came in. A secret sense awoke that could perceive a presence and greatness everywhere. Now, the secret sense are subtle senses. The gross senses are there, but there are subtle senses also, and that is secret because you don't get it very easily. Okay, and that secret sense is now seeing a presence and a greatness everywhere. Even in the inconscient, he is seeing the greatness. That's what he's saying. Okay, so and the whole meaning has changed. Okay, so the universe was now, not now, this senseless world. The universe was not now this senseless world. Earlier, the universe was a senseless world, mechanical energy. We have discussed Purusha and Prakriti. When you are in the Purusha consciousness, Prakriti, the universe, is seen as mechanical unconscious force. Now he is not seeing it that way. There is a divine presence and a greatness there even in the universe, not only in the universe but even in the inconscient.
But science saw it like that for years. Science saw it as a senseless world.
Yeah.
No more.
That's right. Okay, so the universe was not now this senseless world, borne round inert on an immense machine. Unconscious, mechanical is the universe as seen even by the scientists. Mm-hmm. But when you go up also to the Purusha consciousness, in the beginning you see it that way. Okay? You see it as a mechanical, unconscious force. So that's what, now he is not seeing it that way. Now he is seeing it totally different. Okay. How? Because he is seeing a presence and a greatness, he is seeing everywhere, behind everything. It cast away its grandiose, lifeless front, a mechanism no more, or work of chance. What was a mechanism earlier is not a mechanism now at all. It's not blind force or work of chance, chaos, chaotic. It's not a chaos. There's a meaning behind everything. That's what he's saying. His whole view of things has changed when he has understood the inconscient.
I once asked Amal about the word grandiose, because in common parlance, it's often a pejorative term.
Negative meaning.
But not here.
No.
This is greatness.
Yeah. That's right. A mechanism no more or work of chance, but a living movement of the body of God. The body of God is matter. Okay? And so inconscient is the body of God. And it's a living movement. It's not dead. It's not mechanical. It's not darkness. It is nothing but that.
A spirit hid in forces and in forms was the spectator of the mobile scene. The beauty and the ceaseless miracle let in a glow of the unmanifest. The formless, everlasting moved in it, seeking its own perfect form in souls and things. Life kept no more a dull and meaningless shape. In the struggle and upheaval of the world, he saw the labor of a Godhead's birth, a secret knowledge masked as ignorance, fate covered with an unseen necessity, the game of chance of an omnipotent will.
His way of looking at things has completely changed. Okay, so he's not seeing it at all as light and darkness. He's not seeing it as consciousness and unconsciousness here, mechanical force. He's not seeing it in that way at all. A spirit hid in forces and in forms. Forces are mechanical forces here, and forms are dead forms, material forms. So he is not seeing that anymore because he is seeing a presence and a greatness everywhere. And a spirit is hiding in all the forms. The divine presence is there in all the forms and forces. Okay, so was a spectator of the mobile scene. The mobile scene is the physical world. There is no mobility there. There is only mobility here. So the mobile scene is the physical world here. And the spirit which is hiding in things is watching all this calmly. That's what he's saying. The divine presence is watching calmly. The beauty and the ceaseless miracle. That's a mobile scene. He's describing the mobile scene because he put a colon. What is that mobile scene? The beauty and the ceaseless miracle let in a glow of the unmanifest. So, a glow of the unmanifest, it allowed the light to come in. It let in means allowed it to come in. Let in a glow of the unmanifest. Where? In the forms and forces. So, the formless everlasting moved in it. So, the formless everlasting is at the height. And now it is moving here in the lower, the mobile scene is moving. So the heights are coming and revealing something in the darkness here. The formless everlasting moved in it, seeking its own perfect form in souls and things. So, the divine is hiding in your heart and trying to encourage you to find himself back again. That's what he's saying.
His own perfect form.
Yeah. No. Seeking its own perfect form in souls and things. That's evolution that he's talking about. Life kept no more a dull and meaningless shape. The dull and meaningless shape is the life with all its suffering and all its perversions. It is life that is there. The vital is full of all these things. But it is not a meaningless shape anymore and not dull. Life has completely changed. He is looking at it in a totally different way. In the struggle and upheaval of the world, he saw the labor of a Godhead's birth. He is seeing the possibility of a divine birth coming even in the lower, the struggle and upheaval of the world. So he is seeing the divinity there. He is seeing totally what was darkness to him before, he is seeing teeming with life and possibilities. That's what he is saying. He saw the labor of a Godhead's birth. A secret knowledge masked as ignorance. Okay? A secret knowledge masked as ignorance. He describes this very much in the Life Divine. He says that ignorance is nothing but darkness which has diminished itself on purpose. The manifestation implies a diminution. The manifestation implies a diminution. So, the knowledge has become ignorance here. Total ignorance in the inconscient looks like that, but full of possibilities. And our mind, in life already a little bit of consciousness is there. In our mental consciousness, it's a half light, half darkness. He says it is half knowledge, half darkness, half ignorance. And even in the spiritual planes, the ignorance continues, but the knowledge is much more. In the overmind, the knowledge is almost complete. In the supermind, knowledge becomes complete. No ignorance there at all. Even at the overmind level, there is ignorance. Because you are seeing the many. You are not seeing the absolutely the one. So that's what he's saying now. Totally, he's seeing life in a different way. A secret knowledge masters ignorance. Fate covered with unseen necessity the game of chance of an omnipotent will. Fate is law. Fate is the law of karma, that which is determined, predestination. So, and it is nothing but the game of an omnipotent will. The omnipotent will has created this whole fate, determination. There is no freedom here at all. Fate is the opposite of freedom. Predetermination is the opposite of freedom. Freedom is there only at the top. Here there seems to be no freedom at all, but the divine element is there and it is goading it towards freedom.
So, in this predestination, all are assured one day of the supramental.
Yes, at different times.
At different times.
And different speeds.
And different ages.
Yes. That's right. Because it's a divine in the forms hiding. That's what he's saying, is spirit hidden in forces and forms. And if the spirit is there in a form, it's bound to evolve.
Yes.
A game of chance of the omnipotent will.
A glory and a rapture and a charm. The all-blissful sat unknown within the heart. Earth's pains were the ransom of its prisoned delight. A glad communion tinged the passing hours. The days were travelers on a destined road. The nights companions of his musing spirit. A heavenly impetus quickened all his breast. The trudge of time changed to a splendid march. The divine dwarf towered to unconquered worlds. Earth grew too narrow for his victory.
Again, magnificent, beautiful lines. Okay, so a glory and a rapture and a charm. The all blissful sat unknown within the heart. This is the echo of the Gita. Then, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hriddesha Tishtati. The divine has placed himself in the heart of every creature and he is from there guiding everything. So, in the Gita, 18th chapter, the 61st verse. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Yantra Rudhani Mayaya. He is seated, the Lord is seated in the heart of every creature and like a machine he is making the body, mind, life turn around. Okay, so that's the phrase. So the all blissful sat unknown within the heart. You could also say there is a psychic being which is there. But there is, I think, there is a difference between the divine presence in everything and a psychic being. There's a difference.
Yeah, I would feel the all blissful is the divine.
Yes, the divine presence.
Yes.
That is there. But unknown.
Yes.
You don't know it very easily. Okay. Earth's pains were the ransom of his prisoned delight. Now that's a very interesting, again, image. So, the sufferings that you are having here, the sufferings and the pains, is nothing but the ransom price that you are paying for freedom. So, the word ransom is very clear. Suppose a rich man's son has been kidnapped. The kidnapper asks for a ransom from the rich man. He says, give me $1 million, I'll release your son. So, the price that you are paying to go back to light and happiness is a suffering. You get the image?
And the delight is prisoned.
Yes.
At the
so
moment.
to get the delight,
yes,
you have to pay the price of suffering. It's seen in a totally different way.
Yes.
Okay? Beautiful image. He has used this word in Life Divine also several times. Earth's pains were the ransom of its present delight. A glad communion tinged the passing hours. A glad communion is coloring faintly, tinging, the passing hours. The days were travelers on a destined road. Now he sees very clearly that there is a destiny. It's not any haphazard traveling, it's a very purposeful traveling. The nights, companions of his musing spirit. So, the night also is now a companion. It's not an enemy anymore, it's a companion.
Of Ashwapati.
Yes, of Ashwapati. Of every human being, ultimately. He said what Ashwati is experiencing will be experienced by everybody at that level. A heavenly impetus quickened all his breast. The word quickened is to stimulate and give birth to. Okay, so the trudge of time changed to a splendid march. So the trudge of time, beautiful line. The trudge of time. Trudge is a very heavy, slow movement with great difficulty. Okay, now it has changed completely, and it has become a splendid march. Everything has become meaningful, beautiful, and you are going at a good speed now. Okay, so the divine dwarf towered to unconquered worlds. So this is the image again of Vamana avatar. The story goes that the Asura, Vali, was always winning against the gods. Okay? And so the gods go to Vishnu and tell him, do something. We are losing the battle with the Asuras. So do something. So Vishnu says, okay. So Vali is a ego. The Asura is as powerful as a god, but the only difference is he has an ego. He does it for himself. Okay. So Vishnu comes to him and he is well known to grant. He is showing his power and his generosity. Anyone who asks him anything, he will give. So Vishnu makes himself into a dwarf. It's also symbolic. And goes to Vali and says, give me a piece of land when I am dead just to cover me. And I am a dwarf. So just give me that much, 3 steps. Give me 3 steps of land. He says, yes, done. I have given it to you. Give it. So he gives it to him. When it is given to him, he said, give me only 3 steps. He has told him. So he takes 3 steps. Now the dwarf becomes Vishnu. And he takes 3 steps and he conquers the gross world, the subtle world and the causal world. The 3 steps. And he reconquers the whole thing again back for the gods. So that's the image. So the divine dwarf towered to unconquered worlds. So the asuras, that the darkness is cancelled and everything is now light. Okay, so earth grew too narrow for his victory. He has gone beyond the earth. He has gone everywhere and even below. Okay.
Shall we stop here?
We stop here today.
Yes.
To appreciate Savitri, you have to appreciate his images. And by the way, last time we came across which I thought I would like to dwell a little more on it. Okay, I'll just tell you where it is.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah. There is one which says on page 40, the letters stood out of the unmoving word. Okay. Now this is a very interesting image. There is a word, and if you have the word, you understand everything. The word is the one. But the letter...
For me it is Om.
Yeah. But the image is that the letters that form the word, the one is formed of the many. That's what he's saying. So, this is one image that he has given, and the other one, it's a very beautiful image. And similar images also is there. He has given as well. Another one is there. He says, excerpts from the page. I think that will come a little later on. Okay. Mm-hmm. I think in the next one it will come. Excerpts from the page. So the page is a full line, and he's taking excerpts from it only. The one and the many. That's the image again. Okay, we stop here today.
Namaste. We'll see you on Monday for the Life Divine at 6 o'clock